Hello, Friday the 9th of August, and we're not here to discuss furry cats. We're here to look at astrology, but Freya won't go down. He decided he wants to stay here, so I thought I was going to press record, and he'll eventually get fed up with it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is share with you so that we can look at the chart that we're looking at, then you won't have to look at Freya. There we go. Right, so we've got Sun at 17 degrees of Leo over here. This is the chart of the moment, I think, isn't it? With the moon on the midheaven. Now he's decided he wants to go down. Right, go on then. Oh, God, now I'm covered. You know when you get covered in that fine hair, and I'm going to be sneezing and pulling hairs out of my eyes. So, moon 14 degrees of Libra on the midheaven actually, but because the sun is out, very difficult to see the moon when the sun is out, even though it's there. I mean, if you can, you know where you're looking, you'll go, oh yeah, there it is. But so these are both masculine signs. So Leo is a fire sign and Libra is an air sign. So in actual fact, these are in sextile, which means that's 60 degrees apart roughly. And the sextile means that they're getting on fine, that they're okay because they both have a masculine outlook. So both of them want to get up and go. Both of them want to get up and go after it or instigate it or instigate's a good word, sort of like start things going. Head forward, this way, men, that sort of thing. The ascendant at the moment is in Sagittarius, so quite lively. We've got a beautiful day out there, hot sun, so this all sort of matches. It feels nice. On the western horizon, Jupiter and Mars are just sinking. I'm just looking at the degrees here. So Mars is at 13, Jupiter is at 15. By the time it gets to Monday, these will be pretty much together. So on Monday, what I'll do is I'll do you a reading for what it means for everybody really to have Mars and Jupiter together in Gemini. It's quite a raucous one. It's going to be very zesty, dramatic, shall we say, even. Okay, let's wait till Monday. In the meantime, there's more stuff that we can look at here, which is quite interesting. Well, I think so anyway. So I'm just looking at masculine. Just then I was looking at masculine, okay. So if a child was born at this minute, it would have a Libra midheaven and it would have Sagittarius rising, it would have a sun in Leo, and it would have a moon in Libra. So this child would be a yang or masculine child. That is a lot of weighting towards masculine. Weighting as in WEIGHT, is a weight or mass of something. Okay, and if actually I might as well just carry on with that theme. If I go down here, so Pluto is also in a masculine sign, Aquarius. And we've got the Eris Chiron conjunction in Aries, another masculine sign. So there's some feminine here and some feminine here with Uranus. There's an asteroid there in feminine, an asteroid there in feminine, and an asteroid there in feminine, and one asteroid in the masculine. Vesta's in masculine, and these two are in feminine. So, but I think in weighting terms, I think it would be deemed as a masculine chart. There is energy in the sky. There is some action here. It's not sedentary. I just want to look at these two for a moment. Pluto at 0 degrees of Aquarius, going back because Pluto decided that it didn't want to spend. Pluto decided it didn't want to be in Aquarius after all. It's got something to finish in Capricorn. So it's going retrograde and it's going back into Capricorn for a short period before going back into Aquarius, but this time it stays. So that's quite funny actually, because we have the big outer planets seem very undecided at the moment as to which zodiac sign they're going to be in. So we've got Pluto over 2 or 3 years going in and out of Capricorn and Aquarius. And of course, Neptune, I've spoken about this. It's Neptune's incredible the way it's just going, oh no, just on the precipice of starting the new zodiac belt, going to 0 Aries, the beginning of the zodiac, right on the precipice, and then just held back and no, staying in Pisces for a bit longer. Okay, let's just delineate that for a moment. Delineate means to. Let's read it. Let's see what it means. I'm just interested myself, so I will now put my reading hat on and just read it, and then I'll talk to you about what I've just said. So the inference we get, I would say, okay, so the part of the collective which pines and yearns and longs and has ideals of fantasy and dreams and Peter Pan and Never Never Land and doesn't really want to be brought down to earth. It just wants to remember a distant memory buried in DNA about the original state of energy before our dimension, before the Big Bang, before the fall of man, how it was all blissed out, oblivious, great white light stuff. And Neptune has decided that it quite likes that state, and so it's just laid on its side and gone back to the lily pad, and now is like basking on the river again, floating on the water. There is something about the human condition at the moment which just wants to stay for a while in something to do with a dream or a wish. And there is a reticence about letting go of that fully and completely and dropping into a whole new paradigm. And so it's about just hesitating on the edge. Am I ready for this? Like somebody who's getting married and hesitates the night before. Am I ready for this? I'm not so sure. Maybe actually what I'm longing for is something quite different. That kind of feeling. Okay, so Neptune's symbolizing that kind of thought. So what's Pluto doing? So Pluto has started and will continue a journey into testing tech, artificial intelligence, every kind of technical stuff, every kind of data, electronic. I was just trying to think of the name. What is it called? Information technology. Every type of information technology, in order that it should be fit for purpose, that it should be growing into what it should become, but what it should become is the right becoming. And testing out Aquarius for its ability to last in that energy. Will that energy be fit for purpose in the future? Is it going to be appropriate for the human race to be fit to have that energy? And if it is, then Pluto will helpfully grow it along and give it lots of favors. If it won't, then Pluto will just simply bring the whole thing down. It will just collapse the scaffolding, raise the whole thing to the ground and say, right, now start again. Okay, now, but Pluto has something to tidy up in Capricorn. I think when Pluto moved into Capricorn and when its journey was through Capricorn, there was an expectation that this would bring down or change a world in which money talks, money is power, that massive power is in the hands of very few people. I mean, you can get conspiracy theories, and we could look at giant pharmaceutical companies and massive profits there, and look at the companies dealing with petroleum and the whole petrochemical industry, and that kind of money, the kind of money that is used to lobby those in power because they have been elected, but then get their heads turned by potential payouts from corporations or institutions which have the money to pay to persuade democratically elected leaders. And I think there was an expectation that all this corruption, which happens in so many countries, would be ended because Pluto would put an end to it. But I think my point is with this that Pluto is not a do-gooding, spiritually minded, fair for all symbol. In fact, it's very unfair for all. In fact, Pluto doesn't care much about fairness at all. What Pluto cares about is simply having structures that will support life itself, because that's ultimately what Pluto cares for. If supporting life itself is to support all the members of the World Economic Forum and make them double the billions that they've got now, give them more wealth, because it was right for the human race, no, not so much the human race, but life itself to continue, then Pluto would. It doesn't have a problem where wealth goes. Its main thing is to make sure that life grows and exists and changes, because that's the way the gods want it. The ever-rolling arrow of time, the ever-rolling changing of our dimension, the arrow of time, if you like, is necessary for deity to be drawing from. I'm probably getting everybody confused here, but anyway, so Pluto probably didn't do everything Capricorn that some people wanted it to do in terms of cleansing, let's say. However, Pluto did make the financial structures on this planet more secure during its tenure of Capricorn. From the shakiness of 2008 through to now, when things are a little more robust, Pluto has done some work on that. And so I think maybe if Pluto wants to go back into Capricorn, then there's probably just some more to do with that. The movement from Capricorn to Aquarius is actually a meshing of the two zodiac signs. What Pluto is doing is making one compatible with the other, right on the edges of them, doing a joined up thing, so that the move into Aquarius is supported by the work he has done up to now in the final degrees of Capricorn. And then off Pluto goes. That's it. No more thoughts of Capricorn, just off into air. So space, actually. You know, all of the space travel and the astral planing and the thing about space-time continuum and all the rest of it, all that beckons. So really, what are they both doing? Well, so what is the story behind Neptune and Pluto both doing this dance on the edge of two zodiac signs? It's about tidying up and preparing. It's as simple as that. There's a need to go back and tidy this up, because I've been on into the new realm, into the new paradigm, and wasn't quite working, because I could see that there was something I didn't leave in place back there. Okay, back we go. I'll sort that out now, and then I'll start my journey again. Those kind of thoughts. So that's what Cosmos is doing, basically, and it's doing it around symbols which are about the creation, and the creation that was formed out of nothingness, if you want to say it like that, was formed out of energy, water. Ultimately, the element of water is the medium out of which life sprang. And that's why we've got Neptune in Pluto, water, out of water, out of this kind of water, Pluto in, Neptune in his own sign of Pisces. I got that wrong. Start again. It's because Neptune in Pisces, water sign and water planet, the ruler of the sign is the planet. Neptune rules Pisces. And so that is your actual representation of the primordial water, the water from which all life sprang. If Neptune is going to do a thing where it steps over into Aries, and according to the traditions of astrology, new life springs up from the primordial waters of Neptune in Pisces, then we wait for that until next year. I think it's about March, something like that. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. So they're both bringing in new paradigms, new they're terraforming. Talk about new beginnings. It's whole epochs, and there is this hesitation. It's got to be gotten right, so that the ensuing decades and centuries are as good as they can be. And so both of these symbols have that in mind. Primordial water, if it could think, it certainly feels, and it's intelligent. I'm not sure it uses a brain. It uses sort of instincts and osmosis. I don't know. An instinctive thing, a feeling thing. Certainly that wants to get the next move right. And certainly Pluto is working in a coordinated way with that. That's the sextiles, where it's talking about the fact that they're holding hands here. They are facilitating each other's prime directive. So the prime directive of each of these mighty planets will be carried out before we move on. So I look at this and I'm going, oh yeah, I like this. I am completely comforted by all this. I'm completely comforted by the fact that they are following their prime directives, not rushing in, but actually getting on with the process in an orderly, contained, reasonable way, and making sure everything is right for, well, if not the human race, definitely life itself. Right. I hope that was useful. Yeah, I found it quite interesting. But you know, as I'm always saying to you, I don't know what I'm going to say until I start reading it. And then as I'm reading it to you, I'm listening to it, thinking, ooh, wow, is that what it's all about? Wow, 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 amazing. So there we go. Right. And I'm going to hope that you have a great weekend. And I hope yeah, that's it. Let's just well, we're on in the northern hemisphere. Let's just carry on enjoying our summer and relax, and it'll all be okay in the end. Okay, then I shall see you on Monday. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.